Hi everyone, welcome back to McMoTV.
Where talk is therapy.
I'm C-Mac.
And I'm K-Mo.
And if this is your first time here, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. On this episode of Talk Therapy, we will be discussing some things that we feel you should have learned in school, but didn't.
And I know this has been a topic that I've seen out there recently with the student loans kind of shooting across everyone's headlines and with people concerned about our children really being taught through COVID, all those different aspects. But for us, we kind of want to talk about, hey, as we step back, what things would we change? Like now that we're older, what do we wish we would have learned?
Right. And as an adult, I feel like you learn things, just being an adult, adulting and living through life. And you're like, bro, I could have learned this in school. Like, I wish that they took the time out to teach me these things. Like, I can remember a few valuable lessons that I did learn in school that I'm very happy that, either one of my professors taught me or a high school teacher at some point that taught me. And I'm very grateful for those lessons, but there's so many more lessons that I wish we could have actually learned.
Agreed. Like lessons that I remember learning lessons, they kind of like slid into the topic just to make sure that we knew, such as in economics, I had a teacher that would kind of show us a checkbook, say, hey, this is what a checkbook looks like, by the way.
Yeah.
Because she knew like that's not something that was in the curriculum.
Yeah.
But she knows that it's something that we have to learn about to manage our own finances.
Yeah.
But we were never taught that.
So you know what? When it comes to math, and I guess this is just me. And I love math. Math is like literally my favorite subject. When I think about the highest level of math that you need, that's always an interesting topic for me. Because I think that, do you need geometry and do you need, I guess it just kind of depends. Like maybe if you're architecture or, I don't know, like.
No, I feel you on that
I
one.
don't know, like what do you really be using? Like what do you use those actual what do you use trigonometry for? Or
it would have to be like for someone who knows that they want to go into a certain career type.
Right. Yeah, and
I do feel like we clutter brains with a lot of extra information early on.
I definitely think so. I think in high school we should do like evaluations, like student evaluations, and consider the type of subject that they're grading. And I guess you don't want to limit them, but at the same time, I feel like if somebody is good at math and hate history or social studies, then why let them sit through that particular curriculum?
Right. Just overload them with stuff they hate.
And,
so they end up hating school altogether.
But let me think that they like. Like if I love math and I actually love geometry and I love, like any type of math, I was pretty much solid at. But
me too.
I hated social studies. I hated history. I hated any type of writing that I did. And just didn't know. But I'm not saying just completely remove it from the curriculum. But I do feel like don't spend so much time into like you get the older you get like that graduate level of those particular subjects, and it's like why for what?
I totally agree. And you know what is funny? I heard I heard Elon Musk. Talk about the school that he's opened up for his son and a couple of friends, I guess, of his sons, where it's a school, but there's no grades, and everyone starts at the same level, and they all learn at the same level, no matter what age they are. And as they're learning and they progress, whichever direction they kind of excel in, that's the direction they cater towards. So, say for instance, you started and you're 5 years old and of course, you get, you learn reading, writing, all of the basic, fundamental academics. You learn that. And then you hit 7 years old, 8 years old, and they realize that, oh, wow, you're really good in math. But you're not so good in, science, but you're really good in math. And so you get a little bit older and you keep learning. And all of a sudden, you're on a math trajectory to where you become an engineer or you're able to kind of go into that field, where others may go over into the science trajectory and they end up becoming a scientist or a biochemist. But it caters to that child's mind. And I think that that's such a brilliant idea. Like what would happen in our school system if we let children, if we cater to their strengths?
Yeah.
we would have geniuses walking around in their own field.
And people would actually be happy with what they're doing in life.
Kids would love school.
Yeah, they would want to go and like, oh my God, like I'm learning this and this.
Today I'm building a car because I want to be a mechanic, because I want to build airplanes.
Yeah.
And they're doing that at 12 years old, you know?
Yeah, that's really cool to me. But I mean, I guess there's going to be people that's going to combat that with, like, what about people that want to do more than just one thing or focus on one particular career type?
Well, see, that's why we need a fluid school system, so that's fine. If you still want to learn, all of these subjects at once and you're able to keep up with it, keep up with it.
Yeah.
Do that. It's not a limitation. It's more of an inclusion. Like, if you're the type of person that knows what you want to do in life, okay, you can head on that path. But if you're the type of person that wants to kind of experiment and jump from over here to over here, over here, do that too then.
Yeah. I think one very important thing that they don't teach you in school is, I think, the use of credit cards. Like, how do you use it? Why is it important? Just credit, period.
Finance.
I think that not necessarily finance. You learn finance, but the particulars about credit. I think that people don't share that in the school system, and
that's a good point.
That's important. Like, just learning about credit and what it means to you.
How to build it. What factors are considered. Because I know even now as an adult, when I pull my credit, depending upon who pulls my credit and for what, they come up with a different list of items. And I often ask them, well, you pulled my credit for a house and it was this much, but you pulled my credit for a car and this is what my credit said. Well, you pulled my credit for a credit card and it's a whole different number. Why?
Yeah.
And then they go into, well, this agency collects data from these people, and it's like, whoa, that's a whole formula and a whole system that I didn't know was out there that determines how you see my potential in gaining loans and progressing forward, in the financial area of life. And
You know what? In school, they used to say the one thing I remember my English professor, he would always say, when you go to college, don't get a credit card. Just whatever you do, don't get one. And that's a catch-22, I guess, because I never got a credit card in college. Like, I literally remember that, and I just never would get one. And a lot of my friends, they would have credit cards or different things, and I just would just have my debit, and if I didn't have that money, you just wouldn't get one.
Yeah, I stayed away from credit cards too.
I wouldn't
for that
just
advice.
Get it. And what I realized is that he probably meant good by saying that, but it's probably like, get a credit card, but use it wisely.
Or don't use it. Right. Just
use it wisely. You can get a credit card, you use it for, say, if you're going to get gas anyway, get gas on your credit card, pay the gas off.
Right off.
You know what I mean? Pay the bill off. That way you're not sitting on interest or whatever, but at the same time you're building credit. You're showing that you're responsible and you can manage your credit. So I think the lesson should be, get a credit card, but use it for things that you would normally use it for anyways. Gas, bills, bills that you actually can pay with the credit cards, because not all bills.
Pay it that month.
Yeah, pay it off every single time. Do not spend money on things that on your credit card that you normally couldn't afford on your debit.
Exactly.
It just doesn't make sense.
Exactly. If you can't swipe your debit for it, don't buy it on your credit. That's how I do it.
And that's very important.
But don't be afraid of credit cards.
Yeah, and I think that I was very, very afraid. Like, I think I didn't get my first credit card until I was like 23 or 24, because I was like, oh, I can't get this. I couldn't get it. And it wasn't until I met one of my very good friends and coworker. She was like, why don't you have a credit card? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I can't get one. She was like, what? Like, I have a credit card, I put everything on my credit card. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to get one. And then I got my first, like, Capital One credit card. I believe, like, my limit at the time was, like, I don't know, like, maybe $3,000 or $4,000. I don't know.
Capital One is the best, by the way, to start out with. Not plugging anybody, but that's the one that I started out with, too. And I was like, oh, yes, my first card. So proud.
As far as spend everything, because my first credit card ever, I believe it was like my mom put me on her Macy's card. Yeah, to help me out a little bit. But other than that, I think my first Visa credit card was Capital One. Another thing that I do believe that they should teach you in school is the purpose of insurance, like life insurance, how like a traditional whole life insurance works, or maybe even like a term life insurance, or a life insurance policy that you can pull from with like living benefits, those type of things. I mean, you literally can really benefit from that within your lifetime. So I don't understand why it's not taught, why you don't hear about it, and the importance of life insurance in itself. I don't understand why that's not something that's brought up in school ever.
And so I want to kind of hone in on that, because I do believe that there is a reason that's not taught to everyone, but I believe that that's becoming more mainstream information. Mm-hmm. Using life insurance policies and understanding what those insurance policies mean and the opportunities that are in them to maximize your wealth, to become an independent source of revolving credit for yourself. Those types of aspects to that education is highly valuable in our economy. Mm-hmm. And anyone who knows the ins and outs of that specific topic will ultimately be financially free most of their life. So if you don't know about them already, go ahead and ask, leave a comment below, and one of us can probably help you out, just to gain some more information about how to use those types of avenues to set yourself up a little bit better. So we don't mind, sharing that information. So go ahead and reach out to us directly, and we'll definitely provide that information. But to elaborate, that's definitely one of the areas in school that if our children were taught, mm-hmm. they would find themselves financially free right around 35 years old.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely that to me.
It's not before 35, right? I'm thinking about it.
You need to focus on, you know what I mean? Like the focus on like IRAs or a Roth IRA or traditional IRA. Like why aren't these things taught? Like why?
And they're so easy.
And you know what? The earlier with those type of IRAs, the earlier you actually start, the better. So like when you're well in your 30s or well in your 40s and you're learning about it, it's not late. It's not too late.
It's not too late.
But it's just
it's not too late.
Why, if you would have started, it's kind of like, damn, if I would have started, 10 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever. I always tell people that I recommend like getting their children's like a Roth IRA or whatever, like a traditional IRA.
But I'm not going to let her give away too much of this information. So you guys go ahead and leave that comment below.
No, do what you can. Like I'm telling you, like free knowledge, free money here. Like I feel like if you can do that for your kids, do it. Like there's no reason why you should know now and your kids shouldn't be set by the time they 9 years old. You know what I mean? Like they're good. Like that's how it should be.
You're right. There's a lot of different avenues. There's setting up your children as employees under your business. There's a lot of different financial avenues. But like we said, we'll probably have to do a whole nother video on that topic because we definitely want to provide that information. We know that it contains a lot of value in it. Mm-hmm. And if you are interested in just one-on-one knowledge or have questions one-on-one, leave a comment below.
Okay. So what is something else that you think that you should be?
Right. So what I wish that we would have learned in school is basic domestic, how can I say this? Basic domestic, not chores, but activities, like things that you have to deal with every day as an adult that you didn't how to cook, how to clean, how to fix a faucet, how to fix a toilet that's just running and running, how to unclog a drain, how to change your oil, because I'm sorry, I understand that we all love to pull in the Jiffy Lube and have them do it in 30 minutes, but not everyone has $60 to $80 to spend on an oil change, and it literally takes maybe $20 to $30 to do it yourself. Mm-hmm. It's not that hard, and I feel like we need to be learning how to change tires. If we're on the side of the road, there's no reason anyone should be stuck on the side of the road because they don't know how to change a tire.
You know what I would say? Like, it's not that people aren't willing to learn; it's just the fact they're just not willing to put the time in. Because I know that the older I get, the more I'm okay with paying a little bit extra for convenience for you to do it real quick. This is something that you do 20 times a day.
Right.
I don't want to spend my,
right. No, I completely agree with that.
Hour that I have that I could be doing something that I love.
But it's more of the fact of,
I don't want to pay you to do it.
In school, you learned how to light a fire, right? If you were stuck out in the woods somewhere, you know how to light a fire. Rub two sticks together, create
I did not
a foundation.
learn to fire. Know how to. I never learned that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not that you'll actually use it. So I'm not saying you're going to actually change your tire every time it goes flat or do your oil every time. But these are just basic survival needs of our lifetime that everyone is going to be faced with at some time. You're going to have a flat tire sometime in your life. Yeah. And if you're in a position to where no one can help you, you at least need to know how to help yourself. And that's all I'm saying. As kids, we're learning stupid stuff in school sometimes.
Yeah, 100%.
Let us learn things that can actually help us in life if something, were to happen. I feel like we should even learn how to stop a bleed. I feel like that should be a basic. Like, if my child falls and gets cut, I want to know how to stop that bleed. If I get cut, I want to know how to stop that bleed.
You know what I think?
Just basic stuff.
Something like, okay, so what I think is important is learning how, they don't teach this in school, but communications, like, while this is a subject matter in like colleges and you can get into communications. I was a communications minor at one point. And I thought that this was like one of the most interesting minors of all time, because it was like something I feel like it should be a regular curriculum where everybody's exposed to communication, like how to communicate, what it means, how different people communicate, and how to not take things personally when people are communicating to you, like not to make it feel like an attack on yourself. Like it's just like embracing the way that they're communicating.
How to accept constructive criticism.
Yeah, like
and
those
advice.
type of things. I'm like, how do you not teach that in school?
You're right. I think I had a 101 class in college that was like introspectional community. It was I can't even remember actually the name. It's a while ago. But it was a communication class about how to communicate, interpersonal communication, and how to communicate in business, how to communicate in just your normal life. I do agree with that. I think that why are we not teaching our children how to communicate?
Yeah, and I know that sounds petty, but I do think
no, it doesn't.
It's basic, and it's something that it's like life. It could literally change your life, because if you know how to communicate with someone, or you see that somebody have a way of communicating that you're like, that's not how I communicate, but let me embrace it. Let me, try to be on a level playing field with them, because I feel like this is how they know how to communicate. Let me, show them, or
right.
So it's just, I just think that that's like a basic concept that
everybody should know how to understand different communication styles and be able to adapt, or be able to at least understand what they're saying. Because I know I meet different types of personalities all the time, and it's almost like can be compared to like how people say code switching. Yeah. You have to kind of code switch depending upon who you're talking to. If I'm speaking to someone from up north with a little stronger personality, I know I got to be straight to the point.
Yeah.
A B C D equals E F G.
Exactly. 100%.
But if I'm in the South, if I do that, that's going to be considered rude. Right. And I'm going to have to code switch to, how was your day today? And how have you been? And have some kind of personal connection there first.
Yeah.
So
100%. Where,
that's a great call out.
Straight. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff that I just don't understand. And as you get older, you learn, and you're like, wow, this would really be useful about 10 years later. Yeah. We would like to know, what are some things that you feel would have been useful to you in school, whether that be high school or college, and what have you learned throughout your adult life that you feel was beneficial to you? So if you like this video, let us know that you like it. Give us a like, leave us a comment, let us know something that you've learned and that you would love for other people to know.
Don't forget to turn on those notifications. We have new videos coming out every week with amazing new topics for this year. So we hope that you guys will join us for those videos as well.
All right, we'll see you guys in our next video. Bye. door, and a bird built a fucking nest, and the whole family was living there.
You became a bed and breakfast? Come on, girl. Run with it. Go this way. Turn that way. Turn this way. Oh my gosh, I love my policy, by the way. I'm watching it grow. Remember I called you about that way back when?